Welcome to Hopscotch Bottle Shop, everybody. I'm Mark DeBlay. I got the guys from the Wort, Pete, Steve, and Mike. We're going to be running through Brewery Bracketology, second round predictions. What's up, guys?
Hey,
thank you for coming by.
Thanks for having us
down.
Excited to talk a little bit about what's going on in these next round of matchups.
Very psyched. All right, so
I got Gonzaga. Oh wait, wrong bracket.
Coach
Okay.
K.
Cinderella story.
all right, so I'm gonna start off with the Kings right here. The Kings of Brooklyn, the Kings of Hayes, other half versus the Kings who took the title last year. Two villains.
This is a story of David and Goliath, Mark. What we have here are two huge breweries, one coming off of a championship season last year, another coming for the title. I think both of these breweries are going to do well. I have to give it to other half just because of their overall love of the game and, of course, because of what they've been putting out. Green City versus Small City at Nyack. It's a David and Goliath story. I'm going to give it to other half, though.
Other half.
I think it's going to be tough for two villains to seek out two wins. I'm going to say we're all going to have to eat our broccoli. I think other half's going to take it.
Yep. When you put out 13 releases in one day, you might win. Other half.
All right, we'll see. All right, so we got District 96 and Abomination. Two guys definitely with all the hype this year. A lot of releases on both ends. What are we thinking?
Well, I think District 96 has got a huge following. They've made some great strides in the last few years. Abomination's can art's hard to mess around with, but District 96 has got those little, they're going to snake their way into a win on this one. I'm going District 96.
I think, I'm going to agree with you. District 96 is going to constrict Abomination. Snake's going to win.
I'm not going to say anything like that. I think it's going to be a very close fought, snaking-like fight. I'm going with Abomination.
Ooh, nice.
All right.
All right, 2 for 1. All right, Torch and Crown versus Hudson Valley. We got the Kings of Manhattan versus the Kings of the Hudson.
Listen, I have something against Hudson Valley a little bit personally, but with all that said, I still think Hudson Valley is going to come out of this on top. They've produced amazing stuff over the last few years. They've gotten a lot of popularity. I know Torch and Crown has got a big following as well, but I believe Hudson's coming out of this one.
I'm gonna say Torch and Crown is gonna torch Hudson Valley. They're gonna burn it down to the ground.
Oh boy!
But I do want that Hudson Valley story to be told on air at one point.
It will. Check out our podcast, and you will find out.
I know you have a little issue with them, Michael. I mean, maybe you shouldn't peed in the bushes that day.
Maybe.
And they caught you, but we'll let that be. I'm going to go with the Kings of the Sour, Hudson Valley.
There it is.
All right, Hudson it is. Sour IPAs.
I don't
All
like
right,
sours.
Tin Barn versus EQ, Equilibrium. The young versus the seasoned, I should say, right?
Equilibrium is going to sign this one up. I'll tell you right now, they've been distributing for quite some time now, even a little bit of pre-COVID that you saw that stuff on the shelves in local places. A little pricey for what they're doing, but overall, some of the best beer that I've had coming out of Equilibrium, EQ's taking it.
Yeah, I agree. Equilibrium can be greater than or equal to Tin Barn.
There you go.
Equilibrium, just because the fanboys are going to want them to win.
All right, there
Yeah,
you go.
it's true.
Equilibrium all the way. All right, Queens, here we go. Evil Twin versus Alewife. You got Evil Twin pumping out brews every day for the most part, right? No matter if we're talking about IPAs, stouts, sours, they're making
Lagers, everything. Everything's coming out of there. Evil Twin has got an amazing following. Evil Twin's got an amazing presence. Alewife, nothing against them. They got great beer as well. I just think they cannot overcome the power of Evil Twin and what's going to happen with the online voting here on the website. What do you think is going to happen?
I think I'm going to vote for the underdog here. I'm going to go Alewife. I think Death Ego, they make great beers. I think up-and-comers, they have a good social media presence. Alewife.
I got to go with the big man Yeppe over at Evil Twin. I mean, they've been around a while. They have that presence. They have that beautiful, beautiful tasting room and outdoor area in Brooklyn.
Yep.
Yeah, the greenhouse. I think Alewife is still just a little too new. They make great product as Evil Twin does, but it's going to be Evil Twin in the end.
All right, there you go, Evil Twin. All right, Fifth Hammer versus Garveys, LIC, Garveys. What do we think?
Fifth Hammer is very special to our hearts. We broadcasted live there. We've had their beer over and over again. Chris is a great dude, very hospitable. We saw him at Blue Point Cast Festival.
Yes.
Had a great time. Beer is excellent. Garveys Point, big friends of ours as well. This is a tough one. In the end, I believe the local guy is going to come out on top. I believe Garveys is going to succeed because of the local outpour I believe that's the one that's going to come out of this one.
Yeah, I think local is going to trump this one. I'd have to go Garveys as well, despite the. I think Fifth Hammer makes phenomenal liquid, but I think Garveys is going to take this one.
This one's going to be tight. Garveys, good friends of mine, Mark, Ben, but I have great friends over at Fifth Hammer with Chris and Mary. I think this one's going to go right down to the end, but at the end, I think it's going to be Garveys' point.
All right, Garveys. All right, so we got BK versus BK. Threes Brewing versus KCBC. This is tough. This is tough.
It is tough, but I believe KCBC, simply by can art, might win this one. Besides the liquid that's in the cans, KCBC has been around forever. People have been able to get their beer. And of course, between sours and IPAs and everything, that it's going to be hard to overcome. It's one of those flashy little things that you see, and you're like, wow, look at that amazing art. I'm telling you right now, KCBC, they've got the popularity. They're going to take it.
I think KCBC is going to win it, despite the can art. I think it's the don't drunk tweet at the end of the night. I think KCBC is going to knock threes out.
There you go.
I'm going to go with KCBC. I think that can art pushes it over. Both of them have great beer, but end of the day, when you're seeing an octopus,
when you're looking on the shelf,
when you see an octopus fighting a spaceman with something else,
Zombie spaceman.
a zombie. Yeah,
In that battle, who do you take? The octopus or the zombie spaceman?
I'm going with the zombie spaceman.
I'm going octopus. He
Heavy.
had arms.
Well, he's already dead, so.
Yeah, what the hell?
All right, Money versus the Whales. We got Barrier versus Finback.
Barrier, local guys. If you had, like I said, blind taste test, if you had Barrier and Finback in glasses and I had both their IPAs, I probably couldn't tell the difference, even though I've had both and also phenomenal beer. What I want to see is Barrier, local guy, come out of this. As much as I like Finback, Barrier's the winner.
Phenomenal liquid in both 16-ounce cans from these guys. Had an amazing sour from Barrier, I think, again, local's going to win it. I'm voting Barrier in this one.
I have to agree. I believe Barry just has that presence on Long Island, even into New York, into Jersey. It's going to be tight, I think, but Barry wins this one.
Barrier it is. I think that they put out like $13 a 4-pack or something like that.
Sure. Throw it out
Why
there.
not?
Phenomenal beer.
Seriously.
It was a 3%
Plus, I mean,
side pour, but it's fine.
Who has like a Weekend at Bernie's tie-in? I mean, come on. That's great.
All right, Root and Branch versus Sekitan.
Well, you know, Root and Branch does not have a brewery, but they've been doing releases at least every month. The fanboys here on Long Island, the craft beer nerds on Long Island are loving Root and Branch, trading it all over the country. Sekitan does not have that presence, though Sekitan does have a big presence in their local area. So it's all going to depend on who comes out of this with the social media outpour of votes. Is it going to be the local audience of Sekitan, or is it going to be the fanboys for Root and Branch? I'm taking Root and Branch on this one.
All right.
Yeah, I think the fanboys are going to really vote hard on this one. Despite, I think Sekitan has a great social media presence. I think they're going to really push a lot of traffic to the site, but I think Root and Branch is going to take this one.
Yeah, I have to agree. Sekitan, again, great presence in East Islip community. Loves them over there. Only thing is, you don't see their product on the shelves really anywhere. You have to go to the brewery to actually get their beer.
Hard to find Root and Branch too when the releases is not staying online.
And that's the thing.
Yeah.
People will sell that beer out immediately. I think Root and Branch
Mark it up for a trade.
without a doubt. And the hype even builds more hype.
Yep.
Root and Branch.
Correct.
All right, Root and Branch. All right, 27A versus 6 Harbors.
Yeah, 27A, my local brewery. Ryan and Melissa are doing great things over there. They've come so far since they've opened. I'm taking 27A just because of the local outpour of audience members and, of course, the beer itself. Excellent.
Rainbow Cookies trump Golden Retrievers. I think 27A is going to take this one.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think hyperlocal, 27A, even 6 Harbors, they're hyperlocal.
Yep.
I just think 27A has that. Those guys have the homebrew because they came from being homebrewers, and I think the homebrew crowd is going to pull them right through this.
Okay. All right, we got the seniors versus the novice, right? GSB versus Lost Farmer.
You know, we talked
New
about
versus
this
old.
earlier today, Mark. I feel GSB's got a much bigger audience. But are they the people that are going to come out and vote? Are they people that are going to come to the website? They're going to cast their vote and be part of this. They've been here for so long. But here comes Lost Farmer, right? A brand new brewery, but with such a huge social media presence. I think they'll kind of trigger their audience. They'll get them to go out there and vote. But I don't think it's going to be enough to overcome GSB. I'm taking GSB.
GSB.
GSB all the way on this one.
Yeah.
Nothing else to say.
I agree with Michael. That Lost Farmer, new up and coming. They have so much passion right now. They want to be out there. They're over at UBS Stadium now, so they're really looking to get their beer out there. GSB, we all know who they are. They're everywhere. You go into any bar or restaurant, you're going to get something from GSB. They make good, solid, strong liquid. I'm going to go with GSB.
And it's a lot of what the fanboys grew up with.
Yes.
Right? So if they are out there and they're long-term craft beer lovers, they are going to vote for
Hippocratic
GSB.
Oath,
Old school, anything like that. So I think that's the reason why they'll take that one.
massive. Yep.
All right, here's the one that everybody's talking about.
Woo, yeah!
Barrage versus Sand City.
Well,
Steve, let's have you go first.
yeah, you can go first on this one.
All right. Okay.
Do you mind fix your collar? Yeah.
All right. Sand City.
Enough said.
Sand City. That's all I got to say. Those guys are great over there. Barrage has done a bunch of collabs this year with a bunch of great brewers and breweries, and we thank them so much for what they did, but it's not fair since we're really not an entity anymore, even though people still have that sentimental.
You still have beer out there, Steve.
We do
and
still
that's
have
what it
beer
was
out
about.
there.
And there's plenty of other breweries on this list that don't have a brewery.
Good point.
This is true. This is true. But at the end of the day, I think, and now that Sand City has distribution and they're getting their product not just
Not just out of the brewery. You can go to bottle shops.
You can go to bar. You could go restaurants. I go to so many restaurants, and now I see Sand City with the big one there.
All right, Sand City.
Yeah, I'm going to have to also go Sand City, and just because of the sheer size
bastard.
of their audience versus Barrage's diminishing audience at this point, including the brewer himself. But Sand City just opened a new location in Lyndhurst, and of course there's a million people going in and out, and they have good social media presence as well.
Yeah.
And I think people will see this for what it is. I'm glad you made it through to round 2, but I think just the sheer volume of people voting here for Sand City is going to put them over the top.
Yeah, I agree. I want to know, though, how many people that work at Sand City are going to be voting for Barrage.
That's a separate poll.
Well,
Separate
considering
poll.
half my staff works for Sand City,
I'll be voting for Barrage, but I think Sand City's gonna take this one. Just again, that Lindenhurst location is
Bumped up their audience
phenomenal.
tremendously.
Yeah, and it's quadrupled their audience, so I think they're going to take it.
All right, Sand City. So Long Island versus Ubergeek.
The Battle of the Riverheads, I think Long Island, been around forever. They won their first round by a margin of like 80%. They have a huge following. They're going to come through on this. We love Rob over at Ubergeek. We love the stuff that he's been putting out there. But at the same time, relatively new. And at this point, they have not gotten their beer out as far as they should or as they could.
As they can.
Yeah. And again, not to take away anything from what he's doing. I just think Long Island's got that deeper roots right now, and they'll take it just from that.
Ubergeek makes some terrific IPAs, really good hazy stuff, but the Long Island is like that, the fan base is maybe like a foot wide, but like a mile deep. Like they have loyal customers. I think they're gonna take this one.
All right.
Yeah, Ubergeek, new, up and coming, great beer, doing a lot of great stuff right now. But yeah, Long Island, Greg and Dan, they've been around, they've seen a lot, and they've had beer everywhere.
Yeah.
I think that loyal following is going to pull them through to the next round.
Yep.
All right, Long Island it is. Greenport Harbor versus 1940s.
Yeah, I mean, Greenport Harbor is an OG, and they even have a beer called OG. But in the end, they really haven't been on the tip of everyone's tongue in the last few months or even years. 1940s, we love Charlie over 1940s, going to be on the show in an upcoming episode. So for us, Charlie and 1940s has kind of come out with stuff more often, and the beer is more relatively new to us. So for us, or at least for me, 1940s is going to take this just because of sheer popularity at this point.
Yeah, I think Greenport Harbor, they make some really good stuff, but I think that the brand is kind of stagnating because it's not, they're not putting out those releases as often as a lot of these breweries on this list. 1940s makes some outrageous stuff. I missed Mass this morning, so I'm thinking of Sinner's Mass, that stout. I think 1940s. Yeah.
1940s?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be close.
Yeah.
I mean, Greenport, again, OG, they've been around. 1940s, I mean, Charlie's, been around since the Civil War. Sorry, Charlie. But I think, this one's close. I really want one to win over the other one. I'm going to go with 1940s.
Nice.
Yeah.
1940s. All right, so Long Island Farm Brewing versus Peconic Bay.
Yeah, I think on this one, Peconic County has done some amazing things. They're relatively new. Both breweries are relatively new, so that levels that playing field. But the social media presence and the audience that's going out to Peconic, their location and everything else that's going into what they've done, will put them over the top. They have an amazing, loyal fan base already so early on. I think they'll take it easily.
I agree. Peconic County, I think they're really building that brand. They've got an awesome location. They're one of the food breweries on the island that serve food, and they make great beer. I think they're going to take this one.
I'm going to have to go with that. My boy James over there, the head brewer, who was my assistant at Barrage, all his recipes, all the beers that you taste. They've been doing canning runs. We see their stuff in a lot of different places. I think hands down Peconic County.
Yeah, optics are big with this one. I think that Peconic County, because it's out
They have
there,
a presence.
yeah, that they'll take it just from sheer visualizations.
All right. And I was seeing they were posting before they were even open.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? They
Yeah.
had a lot of social media going out there. All right, last one up here. We got Ghost versus Dubco, Bayshore.
It's like picking between my kids. This is a tough one. I mean, we love both these breweries to death. We've had them on so many times and been in their establishments many times. I'm gonna say, because I want them to brew another beer that I really
Another
love,
batch of Eleanor.
Eleanor Black IPA. I'm gonna go with Dubco on this. But Paul, you can always swing me the other way if, in fact, you also brew a Black IPA.
Man, this is, when we were talking earlier, this is the one I have no idea which way this one's going to go. Dubco has a huge following. They've been around a long time. They're one of those big Long Island breweries. Of all the great breweries you find in Bayshore, I think they have like the biggest presence, the biggest following maybe. Ghost makes some dynamite stuff. They won IndieCast this at their neighbors at Brewers Collective this past year. Man, I could go either way on this one. Just to be a contrarian, I guess I'll vote Ghost. But
Yes, I'd like to see Ghost win, but I just have a feeling, with the
it could go
numbers,
either way.
that Dubco will win this
Yeah.
one.
I'm good friends with both breweries. Did collabs this past year with both Dubco and with Ghost. Love them both, but at the end of the day, I think just because Dubco's been around a little bit longer and has that following, I think they're going to pull this one out. Sorry, Paulie, I love you.
You got to look at the analytics.
all
Look at
about
all the
the
analytics.
analytics.
If you go on here, check out your social media, watch the analytics, find out who won last year, go back and look at what's going on this year. Check out round one, ranges of how much they won by, the swing votes. You have to vote both in the story and in the link if your brewery is going to win. That's a
double
big thing.
voting.
That's a big change. That's a game changer. And if these
This
breweries
is where it's legal to vote twice.
can go out
Yes.
there
And encourage.
and advertise that, show people, show their audience that there are two ways of voting, not just through the story but through the link, I think they can come out on top.
And hey, come down to Hopscotch, get a beer, get a side pour. Is a side pour or a Fifth Hammer lager?
That's right.
Come on,
Can't
where
beat
else?
that.
Where else are you getting that in Long Island?
Well, there you have it, everybody. Second round predictions. Brewery, Bracketology, the guys from the Wort. Get online, cast your votes, not only on the story, but jump on the website. There are going to be a lot of giveaways coming up. So here we go. Get at it.
Get
Cheers.
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 Move down, move down.
Ting, ting, ting,
Ting,
ting,
ting,
clink. All right.